This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It is Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie for your Thursday podcast. We're talking about conspiracy theories around Taylor Swift on the podcast today.
I know. Please control your excitement.
So,
Fitzy.
I think that every time, if you have 5G near Taylor Swift, that then cuts out your reception. And if you're vaccinated
Gives you
against COVID, that means you cannot listen to the new 1989 re-release.
If you're
with
vaccinated.
Taylor Swift. That's what I...
Yeah, if you're vaccinated and if you built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was the first person on the moon. You know that, don't you?
No.
Yeah. It went Taylor Swift,
not bad.
then Neil Armstrong,
Yeah.
and then Tenzing Norgay.
No way.
Yeah, oh, that was Mount Everest.
Look,
Sorry.
you know what? I know you guys poo-poo the idea of these conspiracy theories or
Stop it.
just
Stop
chat around Taylor in general. But, I mean, there are worse things to talk about, and
Yeah.
I am on board for it. I'm not the problem. You guys are the problem.
You're not the problem, Kate.
Do you, like, Kate, all right, Kate's theory revolves today around, you know, I think she's trying to get her Google history, or in things that to do with Taylor Swift, the Google history erased.
I think it's all about manipulation of the market and, and publicity.
You're going into Area 51 of Taylor Swift.
I know.
You know that, don't you?
I'm going deep, guys. It's all in the podcast.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Dumb Criminals is one of our favourite segments on this show.
You've been hit by a dumb criminal.
I've got some audio grabs for you today because there's quite a few dumb criminals around the world. One's in Australia, but we're going to kick this one off in New Jersey.
Here we go.
Have a look at this. Have a listen to this unit.
The New Jersey man is facing several charges after crashing his car into a police station, all while blasting the Guns N' Roses song, Welcome to the Jungle.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
So he's driven his car on purpose into the police station with Welcome to the Jungle playing, gets out of his car with his fingers in the air going, got you guys, got you.
What are you doing, mate? What was he
arrest-
trying to do?
I don't
You've
know.
been hit by a dumb criminal.
He's just gone. I bet he's just had a couple of
Mate.
Woodstock cans with the lads and said, I'll drive the car. I'll
No,
do
you
it.
won't. I bet you won't, mate.
I'll do it.
Everyone says you don't have the balls to do it.
Hey, put some Guns N' Roses on.
Hey, no, seriously, I dare you. Do you know what? Without America, this segment wouldn't exist. It's like Bondi Rescue. Without
the best.
tourists, that show wouldn't exist.
Let's go to Perth now. This is over in Perth, and a guy's decided to break into a pub.
A not-so-smooth criminal has taken the idea of an open bar to the next level, breaking into a pub and helping himself to everything in sight. The problem with the Perth man's plan, once he got in, he couldn't get out.
You've been hit by a dumb criminal.
So he started having a few drinks behind the bar, and started playing a bit of pool by himself, got so drunk that he couldn't find his way out.
Awesome.
Cops rocked up, he got arrested.
Started playing pool by himself. He won. He won, definitely. It's like when you see CCTV footage of like a bottle shop and then a guy falls through the ceiling of the bottle shop.
Yeah, it's the
Like
best.
the effort he's gone to and then can't get back out.
Best. For a while there, when I was a bit younger, I wanted to be a sandwich artist.
Oh, Subway.
Yes, and you know what? I just love the smell of Subway when you go past it. That the bread.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
My
just
kids have
magnificent.
just discovered it. They love it. Like the chicken teriyaki with the sweet onion sauce, please.
I couldn't look at Subway in a negative way, but a couple of employees in the States have.
2 employees of a Subway restaurant were fired. So the next day, they decided to retaliate against their employers by robbing the restaurant after it was closed. They disguised their faces, but they still had their employee access codes, so they used the access codes to unlock the door. And if that wasn't dumb enough, both criminals then went back to the store to pick up their final paycheck from Subway the next day.
You've been hit by a dumb criminal.
Remember the 2 Aussies in Vancouver or something? And they were at a small ski town. And they
They
left.
robbed a bank.
They left their name badges on, went in there, the only 2 Aussies in town with Australian accents, and robbed a bank. Give me all your money, mate.
Everybody on the ground.
What are you doing, Steve? How do you know me name? You've got a name badge on. And you work at the pub. Mate, we were drinking last night.
It's not me. You're only a what if away from a holiday with whatif.com.
You could go to your dentist appointment or all the kids' sports.
But what if it was a weekend on the coast instead?
Book hotels, holiday rentals, apartments and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Have you seen the trailer for the new David Beckham documentary?
Oh, no.
It looks amazing.
It does. There's been a lot of hype around it, and we had the telly on at home last night, and it popped up a couple of times. Decided not to watch it, of course, and chose Suicide Squad instead. I have no idea why.
No. Can I just say, it took 4 years to put together. 4 years, and he's done 40 hours of interviews.
Would have been scheduled.
For them to cut it up. But there was in the trailer, Kate, there was a thing that really stood out for me was Victoria was on a couch talking about David. She gave an answer, and then out of nowhere, he comes around the corner and goes, "Be honest, be honest." So he's listening
from the other room.
That's not right. That's
From the
not
other
what
room.
happened. Victoria, be honest.
I guess, though, if you're going to sit down and do 40 hours of interviews, there would have had to be some private chats amongst the family, like, what are we going to discuss?
Where do we stop?
What are we not going to discuss? There's no point doing a tell-all documentary that you want everyone to watch if you're not going to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some big footballing names on there. What was that guy's name? Cantona.
Roy Keane.
All the other
There's
big
some legends.
footballers. Sir Alex Ferguson is
yes.
on there, who
Yeah.
I actually met once upon a time, very many years
Wow.
ago. Tell you about that
Doing
another
your interview.
time.
You're
Yeah.
40 hours in the chair.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a footballer. I haven't revealed that to you yet.
When is Richie coming out?
You know what? It
I'm
would be
into that.
so embarrassing because I do 40 hours worth of interviews and no one would watch it.
Bend it like Richie.
I think, too, one of the things that everyone wants to know whether they address appropriately is the fact that there was all those rumours about David having an affair with the nanny.
Oh, Rebecca Lewis.
Yeah, and of course...
Rumours?
Well, I don't know what came out about that eventually.
I would suggest it's not the only time David's been busy, and possibly that they're aware of it.
Well, but we are not one to judge. Let's have a little listen.
Tonight we bring you the story of how David Beckham became a global phenomenon.
David Beckham, unstoppable.
I never really did well at school because all I ever wanted to do was play football.
My manager kept saying, try and keep it under wraps. So we would meet in car parks, and that's not as seedy as it sounds.
Classy.
Classy. He's never been a great talker.
They
Noel
are.
Becks.
I look at them as great parents, though. I really do. I mean, the kids have grown up. I think that it isn't a relationship. For his career to last for so long,
Yeah, absolutely.
and to stay sane with the paparazzi in your face the whole time.
Well, and for everything to be on show, whether it's your footballing career, whether it's meeting a Spice Girl, whether it's bringing up children, how are you going to do it? And now those kids are under the same amount of scrutiny as well.
What did he say about hooking up with the nanny?
Well, I don't know. You are going to have to watch. And I don't think anyone's calling it hooking up.
Okay.
Now let's get to what we really want to talk about, which is Taylor Swift. We had a great chat about Taylor yesterday, I think it was, or this week, which was about how much she has improved Travis Kelce's career and that his jerseys have spiked, 30% in sales, the amount of people clicking on Chiefs to find out who the team are.
been massive.
I mean, the Taylor Swift effect is absolutely incredible. Now, the next lot of conspiracy theories has come out, and people are saying that perhaps she went to the Chiefs game to cover up another news story, which I guess high-profile people do sometimes.
Here we go.
Let's have a listen to the theory.
So, like a couple of weeks ago, if you Googled Taylor Swift jets, you'd get a bunch of articles about her jet emissions. But now, if you Google Taylor Swift jets, you get a lot of speculations about her relationship. It's like how before Disney's Frozen came out, if you Googled Disney Frozen, you'd get a bunch of people speculating about Walt Disney freezing himself after he passed away. But now Disney Frozen has a monopoly on the children's market.
Is that David Beckham?
Oh, that's not bad.
It sounds very similar. So what they're saying is there are people in a room sitting down deciding, okay, what's the issue? How do we get that Google search? Because that's what everyone's going to these days, to come up with a completely different set of information and a relatively positive theory. You know, people are going to be saying good things about Taylor and the jets rather than all of the emissions, because I think she's one of the highest private jet emissions in the world.
Yes.
Now, I think there is another element to this, but I am going to throw to our Taylor Swift expert on the show. Jess, welcome
Taylor
to the
Swift
show.
expert tapping in.
Okay.
So, this isn't the first time that she has used this tactic of trying to hide the Google searches.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you know this, but back in, I think, 2016, she went to the 1975 concert. As we know, she went on to date Maddie Healy. This is why this is important. And she was photographed on the balcony. Let me put this up for you guys.
Let's get it on the screen.
Very close with her best friend at the time, Carly Kloss.
Oh, they're kissing.
They look like they're kissing, very unconfirmed, right? So then she goes on a few years later to date Maddie Healy for only a couple of months. Everyone says, now when you Google Taylor Swift 1975, the Maddie Healy stuff comes up. This little incident wiped from the internet.
I mean, it's the oldest trick in politics. It's the oldest game in the book. To make enough noise to grab your attention, and while you're looking that way, they do what they want on the other side.
Is that why Tom...
That's what they do.
If you read a story about Tom was bringing out a new movie called Reversing Onto a Goat, I think.
He was. And instead, there was a story.
He bought a new car that was the greatest of all time.
There you go. Is that to alter your Google search, Tom?
I feel seen. I feel very seen.
It cleaned up. You can't find, when you Google TomMilitaryMen.com, you can't even find that now.
No.
It's like you got to go like 3 pages in.
I wish I could find it.
I think you're looking into these conspiracy theories too much. Give me a break.
Oh my goodness, I love it. There are people. I mean, thank you for sharing that, Jess, because I know that people are going to get to the office today and say, "Hey, I've got one for you."
Yeah, have a listen to this.
This is amazing.
When's the re-release of 1989?
October 27th, so we're not that far away.
So then after that, do you reckon things will settle down? They would have to settle down.
No, but I think we just need to stay tuned about what's going to happen between now and October 27th.
Ears to the ground, guys. I'm on it.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can I do a shout out to my ex? Well, I'm not going to do a shout out to my ex.
Not Carla Rummel.
No, I want to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. This is a big one because Leonardo's decided, stupid move by Leo to rock up to Paris Fashion Week. You don't think that was a little bit awkward? He was there supporting his brand new girlfriend, who I think is 19 years of age or something like that.
How old's Leo? Can we get a quick check on his
Well, there was a great photo last night getting around of him and Brad Pitt saying friends for life or something. I don't know what it was, but they're dressed in black tie. It's just the two of them.
I think he's my age. I'm going to say
52.
46.
No, he's older than you.
Tommy?
48.
48.
48 for Leo.
Couple of years older than me. So he's supporting his current flame, Vittoria Soretti. She's a model. She's obviously there modelling at Paris Fashion Week.
It's Vince Soretti's daughter.
The thing is, though, on the same catwalk was Gigi Hadid, his ex.
Did they date?
Yeah, they went out for a bit.
That was a weird one, wasn't it?
Adding to the intrigue, another one of Leo's exes, Camilla Morone. Now, Camilla was the one that he was with for 4 years.
She was stunning, and then she ticked over the age of 27, I think, and Leo had to let her go.
She had to be put back on the shelf.
Yes, as we say.
So she was front row when his current flame, Vittoria Soretti, was doing her modelling.
Okay, now I know you're running through some names here, Fitz, but let's just assume that the names you're running through are not the only models in the room that he's dated. That these are just the ones we know about.
So he's got his current flame at the moment, 2 exes in the room. Then Helena Christensen rocks up.
It's a busy day for
Shout
Leo.
out to my ex.
Oh, wow.
There's
She's
3
one
exes.
of my favourites,
Isn't
Helena.
she?
I didn't know this one as well. He went out with Naomi Campbell when he was a bit younger as well. She's in the room.
Oh, my God. Leo, you've been a busy boy.
He did not.
Eva Herzegova. I don't know who that is. She was in the room.
Yes.
Oh, no, Leo!
She's the short blonde hair.
That's 5.
It says here that there was 9 ex-girlfriends at Paris Fashion Week that Leonardo DiCaprio's been out with.
Can I just say, and Kate, block your ears for a minute, but to all the fellas listening and on behalf of the guys, Leo...
Oh,
Are
what a
you
pig.
doing that?
What a pig.
Thank you for saying that, Fitz.
I mean,
on behalf of all the fellas.
it's an extraordinary effort.
Is it really? Oh, do you know what?
Leo.
Look,
It's
Leo,
quite sad, I think.
I was going to say that
is it?
there are times when, rather than giving Leo a round of applause, and I'm certainly not one to judge anybody's love life, but oh, God forbid. But what I will say is sometimes I go to bed at night and I lie there and I think about Leo and I think,
Go on.
Are you okay, Leo?
We're on air. Oh, you're worried about him.
No,
Sorry, I didn't know where it was going.
Like, when are you... I mean, I'm not saying everybody needs to settle down, but
Hey, Kate.
what is it... Shush. What is it that he's searching for? Is he... He's truly lonely,
Do you
is
know
he
what,
not?
do you know who I do the same with?
About me?
No,
Oh.
Kylie Minogue. I think to myself all the time, we've interviewed Kylie so many times. She's so lovely and she's gorgeous. How has she not found love?
But I think that also opens the conversation around why do we need love to be happy,
Well,
guys?
Kate Ritchie-
we need to be loving ourselves
Kate
before
Ritchie-
we can find love with others. You stay out of it because you have absolutely
Hey,
said enough. I think we need to do this topic this time tomorrow. Who do you lie in bed at night and worry about?
Okay, Richie, I've been shushed 3 times now.
Well, but
Now,
if
I
you're
would
going
like
to
to
give
say,
Leo another round of applause,
if you're
we've
going to
heard
give
it.
him some sort of pity thoughts in
It's
bed...
not pity, it's
yes,
care.
It is.
It's care.
You don't know him. You don't care.
I've met him.
I don't think you need to worry about Leo in the slightest. Leonardo DiCaprio is a very happy man, a very successful man who, in his dating life, could not...
Is he happy, mate?
No, because that's you prioritise hooking up with happiness.
Oh, yes, I do. But I also put it into Leo's lifestyle. And if he wasn't happy, then he wouldn't have been doing the same thing over and over and over again. He's found a formula in life that works for Leo.
Can I say, though, when your heart just skips a beat when you walk into a room and see your ex in there. Tommy was just telling us he had 8 ex-girlfriends at Summer Nats one year down in Canberra.
That's right. But he met them in one night.
And Brett was so upset
All
you
on
didn't
the-
speak to him.
That was on the Burnout track,
Yeah.
all at once, Tom.
All in the Yaris.
Oh,
which-
my God. Unbelievable.
Very busy.
Caitlin and Guy Mia, how many exes were in the room?
2 at a nightclub on my 18th birthday.
Did they know each other, Caitlin?
I think briefly, but well.
Were they consecutive? Like, was one after the other? Did one follow the other?
Yes, and they were both following me, and it was dreadful.
Oh, did it ruin the night, Caitlin?
I tried to not let it, but a little bit.
Were you hoping to find somebody else on the night, Caitlin?
Yes, and I actually ended up going home with someone else as well.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
So next time you're there, it's 3 exes.
Wow,
I won't
what
clap
an...
that one.
Oh, no,
Please
what-
don't clap,
no.
mate. Like, that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, you're out of line, Fitz. That's not your role.
No, I just thought the best way to get over it, Caitlin, is to find someone else and leave the place.
Yes. I think it's always... I think the level of awkwardness does revolve around the fact of whether you broke up with them or whether they broke up with you.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's quite nice to see an ex. Hi. But if they've broken your heart...
Yeah, then it's shattering, isn't it? Especially on your birthday, Caitlin. Thank you.
Exactly.
Jake in Canton Beach, how many exes were in the room, Jake?
So there was 4.
Oh, 4.
Jake.
Jake, tell us.
What was
talk
the
us through
event?
it.
What was the event?
So I went out for the night with the boys to play some poker.
Lads.
And, it turned out that there was 4 of them there drinking. I'm guessing it was like a party or something, I'm not sure. And I walked in and you get that sinking feeling the moment you see one of them. But when I seen 4, I don't know,
Jake.
the whole night was gone for me.
Yeah, but did they all know each other?
They were all at the same party, so I'm guessing so. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, they definitely started talking about it after they seen me.
Jake, I need to ask you here. Are you a bit of all right?
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling at first tonight, and then once I started drinking, it was fine.
No.
So-
I mean, I don't mean at the party. I mean, just generally. I mean, for you to call up and say I had 4 girls in the one room, I'd been with all of them. You know, I was there playing poker with the boys.
Who are you,
Like,
Shane Warne?
Yeah. I mean, you must be quite the catch.
No, well, I wouldn't say I'm the catch. I'd more say I'm just a nice guy, really. So
Yeah, well,
Jake, could have been worse, though, couldn't it, Jake? Could have been bloody 8 of them in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a very rough night.
Yeah, the boys.
Jake, you're in the running for Kate's sweet seats.
Well, he won't be winning.
I'm hoping, Jake, we could be calling you back tomorrow. You'll be in Kate's suite for Taylor Swift.
Absolutely not.
And 10 grand cash. Imagine how much you could lose on poker for that, Kate.
Yeah, that'd be fun, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, sweet ass,
Jakey
Jake.
boy, don't worry.
Sweet ass, man. Hey, speaking of relationships, I just love that you yelled out, yeah, the boys.
I mean, because it's so ridiculous.
Lads.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I don't know if you've noticed this one. Oh, I know I have. My house, and not to mention yesterday, Kirribilli, when we were playing cricket. As a commentator, Fitz, because I got dethroned from my rank as captain. Can I just point out, too, I haven't captained a team that hasn't lost at Kirribilli House in our 4 years of backyard cricket.
I've beaten you 1 year, mate. No. You haven't won every
you're right.
year.
You did right.
Yeah.
I won the last 2. I won 2019, then we
Yes.
jumped because of COVID to 2022.
Yeah.
I had a win. So reigning captain ends up as commentator. Do you understand how hard it is as a commentator when you have a fly invasion that's hit Sydney at the moment in New South Wales?
Wasn't it horrific
There's flies
yesterday?
everywhere.
I know the boys from Tender Gourmet Butchery.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, the snags and that were unbelievable, but the flies were out of control.
And, you know, everyone's taken to social media. One bloke wrote, this is the first time I've actually cared about climate change, because he's been inconvenienced, because the warmer weather that we're experiencing at this time of the year brings in the rapid breeding of flies.
Tommy, can you check, where do the flies go and have a kip during winter?
I don't know if they do. The lifespan of a fly is sort of 7 days.
I believe they've been underground. Are
they?
Yeah, because aren't they maggots?
Yeah, they're maggots,
And
yep.
then they hatch, or they crawl out and come out as flies.
Yeah, those ones hanging around Tom's head have been here longer than 7 days.
Yeah, and Tommy, the other thing is too, I think that after sort of day 3, they then breed. So if they're living halfway through their life, then they start laying eggs, maggots, whatever you want to call it. Next thing you know, you're sitting on a poo and then making your way to my face.
Isn't it the worst when you sit down at the end of a day and you've been on your feet all day and you just want to sit on the couch? You get on the couch, you turn on the telly, and then you hear a big blowy just buzzing around the room.
Or you turn the light off at night, you get into bed, and the next thing you know, it's bouncing off the corners of the walls, and you go, you little bastard.
You mongrel.
Do you know, Tommy, I've been trying to work out, because this scientist has come out and said they're high-energy flies also, because the flowers are full of nectar because of the warm weather. So we've got a swarm of flies that are attacking us faster than ever before.
Can we 13 24 10? Has anyone got any foolproof way to keep flies away from you in the backyard?
I've done a bit of research. The one of the water out the front of your house with a couple of coins in a plastic bag seems to be the most popular.
Okay,
but are you telling me a fly is smart enough, right? How big's the brain on a fly? Are you telling me it's smart enough to get to a doorway, look at a bag of water with coins in it and go, not coming in there?
Or just
That's different.
It is.
I'll go next door. Hey, fellas, coins in the bag out the front of 33.
And I don't want to hear about Erigard, or I don't want to hear about Bushmans, because we all know about that. But is there something that you can put in your backyard that just keeps them away, and the mozzies?
Well, how much? You know, who cleans up the dog poo at your joint? Got any turds? Got any landmines?
So I told you the other day. What was the one?
I mean, I don't have a dog, so if we have a dog in the neighbourhood that sneaks in at night and leaves a couple of landmines on the backyard.
No. Check. That was the one I told you the other day that a parent told me about with the kids. Check before tech is the family motto. They've got to go check to see if there's any dog poo in the backyard before they get their tech.
I love that.
Check before tech.
So you can't get on your iPad unless you've cleaned it up.
Unless there's no dog poos in the backyard.
I've got one of those assault bug guns. Have you seen those?
No.
So it's a gun. It looks like an M16. So you hold it with 2 hands and then you fill it with salt. So if there's a bug, like a fly, sniper, but some of them come with lasers as well. So you know you're in position. You've got to clean up the salt afterwards.
Too much work.
I spent an hour in the kitchen assaulting flies last night.
Tanya in George's Hall, help us out with the flies.
So last night on the news, they were saying that flies are attracted to CO2, and if you exercise, you're putting out more CO2. So there's your excuse not to bloody exercise.
That stops me in my tracks. That photo from Maroubra Beach, did you see that, Tanya? Of the guy in the white T-shirt?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, my God, they were breeding on his back. Tommy, what about this for some new merch? What do you call that Aussie hat with the corks dangling down?
Yeah, what do you call that?
I don't know, cork hat.
Yeah, cork hat.
Court swingers.
Yeah.
Let's get Fitzy Whipper, Kate Ritchie.
No, come on.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your Life Improver!
He's one of our favourites on this show. We love Nev. Nev from Artarmon. What's your life hack, Nev?
How you doing, guys?
Hey,
My
good,
life
Nev.
hack is when you go to cricket matches with your kids, you can be there all day and you don't want to head off and get food because that's surely when they're going to get a catch or a wicket. So what I do, I get a thermos, fill it full of hot water and put a set of hot dogs inside it. Then get a set of buns. And
That's
then
good.
when I'm at the cricket and I want to have a nice hot dog sitting down, I don't have to go anywhere. Just pull out the thermos and a bread roll and I'm laughing.
I've got a drawer full of thermoses.
Well, that's the thing. Last week we asked you to say 30 again. Could you just say thermos for us again, Nev?
Thermos.
Thermos.
Thermos. Thermos in the house.
Nev, is it hard getting the hot dogs out of the hot water bottle, though? That would be tough, wouldn't it?
Take some time.
No, it's not. No, it's not. 'Cause you can just put your fingers in and pull it out, or you just give it a little flick to the side, you know, when you pull the hot dog out and throw it on the bun.
Your life must be made up of life hacks. I reckon there's a book just in Nev.
And Nev.
Well, there could be, mate. There could be, all
You're
right.
good, Nev.
Nev, and I understand your pain. Junior cricket can take away. It's a few hours out there. You got to wait for your son to come in.
And throw in a Sunday with rep cricket as well, so that goes on for another 50 overs.
Oh my God, throw that in.
All right, let's go to Brooke in Glenmore Park. Life hack, Brooke.
Morning, guys. So everybody hates washing up, right?
Yep.
So I found a hack. If you're frying something in your fry pan and you put oil in it, save you having to wash up the pan afterwards, put baking paper in first. Then you put your oil in, cooks just as well, and you don't have to wash it up.
Doesn't the paper break up and go on your meal?
No, that's what that's the point of baking paper.
I'm thinking of bloody...
That's
sling wrap.
No, I'm thinking of paper
It's-
towel. I'm an
but
idiot.
see, the other thing as well, Brooke, the paper doesn't come up and it doesn't splatter everywhere, does it? That's what I'm worried
No.
about. No.
No.
Okay.
It doesn't.
See, maybe they need to make baking paper that's already cut in a circular to the shape of your pan.
Oh, it probably exists.
Oh my God, this is brilliant.
Robin Monavale, Life Improver.
Got a soda stream life hack for you.
Oh, here we
love
go.
a
Soda stream.
So you're having a great night at home and you're running out of bubbles, champagne, sparkling. You've got some good Riesling or a nice Cardi.
Oh, give me
in
a
the fridge.
break.
Put that into your soda stream, into your soda stream container. Bubble it up, and you've got sparkling Shiraz or sparkling Riesling or a nice
That
sparkling
is so
Cardi.
disgusting.
I back
I'm
that,
so
Rob.
sorry.
I mean, you're winning in my books, Tommy. When you look at some of the
Oh,
fancy
mate.
fresh stuff, and
look.
it's Blanc Le Blanc or
Yeah.
some...
Oh, Blanc de Blanc.
Blanc de Blanc,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
you
just
could-
straight Chardonnay. Have you got a bottle of Chardonnay in a soda stream?
Yeah, forget.
Hello.
Yeah, forget the verve.
I think, you know
Nice
what?
little savvy.
I think if you're deciding to put your Riesling in the soda stream, it's time to go to bed.
Could you put a goon bag into your soda stream somehow?
There's no reason you can't.
Let's go to
Kate Ritchie, come on.
Well done, Rob. Connie in Dean Park, life hack, Connie.
Hey team, so I got a good one and it's really easy. So there's nothing worse than going to your loaf of bread which you bought 2 or 3 days ago and seeing mouldy spots or it's really dried out.
Yeah, what do you do,
What you do is you put a piece of celery in your bag with the bread.
What?
And it lasts for up to 2 weeks.
Are
you
sure? Because does it absorb the moisture?
Yeah, it displaces the moisture from the bread, so the bread stays nice and soft and fresh, and your celery just takes up all the excess moisture in the bag. And it doesn't change the taste of the bread either.
Doesn't rice do that? Does it like
Yeah.
rice soak up moisture?
Yeah, from a phone.
Yeah, from a phone.
When you
mate.
dropped it
That's
in
when
the
you put
toilet.
your phone
Oh,
into
when you're
the
urinating
toilet.
and you've had too much to drink.
Well, Tommy, because
right.
you've got another theory with celery. That's why you eat it a bit. But let's go on to the next caller. Gus in North Sydney. Gus, life hack.
Good morning, legends. Thanks for having me on.
Or legend and MDG. Yeah.
Thanks, Gus.
Hey, Gus, what do you got?
So whenever you start a new job, you should tell all your new colleagues that you have a twin that looks exactly like you, so that if you ever see them out in public, you've got a perfect alibi to ignore them.
Oh my gosh, that is actually that is really good. That is a great idea.
But Gus, that means that you're going into a new job assuming that you're going to hate everybody you work with.
Well, it's statistics. There's always one crazy in the bunch, so you've got to look out for yourself.
Do you know what happened here, Gus? There's a guy that works and he used to be part of our show. His name's Jermaine. And he has a twin brother. Anyway, one day as a prank, he got his brother to come in and work here. And he came in just doing his thing.
Yeah,
and I
no
had no idea until I looked at him and I went, your haircut's a bit
Can I just say, Kate Ritchie, I thought you would, because you are a fiend for screening people when they're ringing you.
No, I don't.
That if you told
I am
everybody
so
when you got a
busy.
job at Nova that I have a twin, you could have just screened anyone who you saw out in public and
not
went,
bad,
no,
is
I don't
it?
want to talk to them.
You're making out as though I'm antisocial and I don't like people, and you are spot on, Fitzy.
You've spent a month at home cleaning out your garage.
Gus, you win for me, Gus. Congratulations.
Well done, Gus.
Thank you very much, mate.
You've won a family pass to Jurassic World, the exhibition. But Nev, Brooke, Rob, Connie and Gus, you're all in the running for Kate's Sweet Seats. 2 tickets to Taylor Swift and $10,000 cash. We're going to be telling somebody that they are the winner of that tomorrow.
We like the Life Improver. How good's the Life Improver? Oh yeah, the Life Improver. Your life, improve it!
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk about great sporting events. We love to focus in on when it goes well, but also it's quite entertaining when things don't go to plan. What I'm about to show you is footage from a athletics carnival which has taken place in Asia, the Asian Games. Do you remember a while ago, before we get to this footage, of the guy who had one job, and that was to measure where the javelin throw landed? Unfortunately, he was watching the track and field and the 400 runners that were moving around the track at the time. Kate, he wasn't looking at the javelin. It hit him in the chest. It hit him towards the
Was he
shoulder.
okay?
He was okay. What he did, though...
He lost
was when-
Hunger Games,
He did,
unfortunately.
unfortunately. He didn't go on to win. What he did do was he almost pulled it out because he'd been hit with a big spear coming from a long way away.
Oh, so it didn't bounce off him. It
Not
actually
so
did
much.
spear
He
him.
then went to show you where it would have landed if he hadn't have been standing
What a
there.
professional.
Oh, the commitment's
That
extraordinary.
is amazing.
Let's move on to this guy. This is the Asian Games, and there was a injured man in this horrible situation. He was an official. His name was Huang, and he was there focusing on the hammer throw. Anyway, representing Kuwait was Ali Schwanksky, and Ali, he lost control of the hammer. Have a look what happened. So he's starting to spin the wind up. He's got the 6 pound. It's going around and around his head. It slips out of his hand. It's gone early and it's hit Huang straight in the leg.
Oh my God, that would break your leg.
So, I mean, it's really just a shot put on a spring. It broke both bones in his leg.
Oh, no.
You see Swanky there. He wanders over to make sure that Huang is okay. Swanky to Hung.
So there is a net around the hammer pit,
Yes.
but it's gone under the net. He's actually just let go of it under the net.
It's gone through it. It's followed under, and Huang is now seated, panicking,
Oh, yuck.
gone red in the face, gone off to hospital with a shattered
Well,
leg.
see, we spoke about Meatloaf.
One of the great stories.
R.I.P. Marvin Lee's his real name, but he spoke about how he got his singing ability.
Yeah.
Kate.
Have you heard this, Kate?
No.
This is an unbelievable story. He could not sing until he rocked up to a sports day at his high school. Have a listen to this.
I got hit by a 12-pound shot at 62 feet, but I didn't nearly die. In fact, it didn't even knock me out. I could not sing a note before I got hit in the head with a shot put.
You are...
No, not true.
Swear to God.
He got hit in the head with a shot put, and then he woke up in hospital and he could sing.
And I would do anything anything for.
As far as shot put goes, it is the sport that those kind of sports, and no disrespect,
Come
of
on,
course,
mate.
to any of those
this
people.
is normally
on the,
where you say discuss.
Well, I just look at that with that guy spinning around with the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there has to be a level of skill involved, but it just looks ridiculous.
No, okay, you don't get it. Now, I did shot put as a kid. All the fat kids at school did shot put. Let's be honest. And there's certain...
Isn't shot put that thing?
Yeah.
So what's that?
That's the hammer throw.
Hammer throw.
You're right,
And then
though.
you got
It looks like a
discus
shot
as well.
put on a string.
Yes.
I get it. I get the confusion. The thing is, there's a lot of technique in the shot put, and when we were at our sports carnival, a similar situation to Meatloaf happened, although it doesn't involve singing in a head, but one of the officials got a shot put, or the shot. He got the shot, landed on his big toe and shattered his big toe through his sneakers, and unfortunately one of the teachers had to wander off and limped off to hospital to get the old toe fixed up.
Well, you were talking about the javelin before. Nikki from Rouse Hill's got a story for us. What happened, Nick?
My daughter was in her primary school sports carnival, and she was in the final of the javelin, and she threw the javelin, and I think there was about 12 seagulls flew past as she threw it, and she took out a seagull. It didn't pierce through the seagull, but it knocked the seagull to the ground.
Oh my God, the seagull would have got the fright of life.
She should win. She should win for that.
The seagull would have gone, that must be the biggest bow and arrow. That must be huge.
What great timing.
13 24 10. If it's gone wrong and there's been an injury at a sports carnival, we would love your stories. Things don't always go to plan at sports carnivals. I mean, one of the great stuff-ups is often the mums and dads race, which you've seen that. We spoke about the girl who unfortunately had a fall in the mums race, and she was wearing the G-string.
Oh,
and
I thought her underpants actually fell off.
No,
I haven't seen that one. That's a clever mum.
I went in there and I was up against Rob. Rob and I, the two dads, were quite competitive.
How'd you
And
go?
about 80 metres down the 100-metre track, Rob went past me, Kate, and I went, he's got me here. This is unbelievable. Starts celebrating at the end. Then he hits the deck, and I could hear this, and I went over to Rob. Rob's kneecap, Kate,
Oh, you're kidding me?
was up in between his driver and his groin.
Oh, no.
So he had snapped,
The
he had
quad?
basically snapped his quad to his knees, so his patella tendon and his kneecap was right up the top of his leg.
Sometimes you've got to know when it's time to hang up the boots, really, isn't
you got to
it?
read it, Rob. You got to read it clearly. Samantha in Auburn. What happened at the sports school fail?
Oh my gosh, so when we were in high school, our teacher had us do a race, and granted, I will give her that a lot of the girls would make excuses to get out of PDHP, right? So we do not blame her at all, but a friend of mine really didn't want to do the race, and the teacher was new, so she didn't realise that my friend had really bad asthma. So the teacher was trying to motivate her. She was yelling at her, you can do it, you'll be great. And then my friend passed out from an asthma attack, and the teacher was only there for a week, so she had a little bit of a panic thinking she lost her job
She
over
didn't
it.
come back after that, did
If
she?
you've
Let's
for
just
any
get that
parent,
Ventolin, guys.
for any parent out there, cross country is one of the most entertaining events that you can go to, especially for young kids, because you will see a kid
the start
just take off sprinting for the first 200 metres, Kate, thinking this is unbelievable. I am leading everybody by so far. Then by the 400 metre mark, you will see the biggest meltdown in the world.
Tears.
Crying,
Absolute
walking.
tears.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
All right, mate. Well, you did it the hard way.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.